ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work, and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Hi, I'm Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home of Cleveland. Here's some video testimonials of families who recently served to tell you about their experiences at Poole Funeral Home.
Hi, I'm Chuck Marvin. Years ago, we lost my mom and she wanted to be cremated. We got her cremains back in a box like this. Just recently, we lost my wife and used Poole Funeral Home and Crematory, and she came back in a box like this. Now I asked you, which one says Diggins?
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted and they found me that truck.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
Well, we're on, aren't we? I tell you what, Steve Hartline is here, but he's surrounded by two of the best-looking men in the house.
Where?
Right here.
Who, right?
And to your immediate right.
He drug an IV bag in here, and I told him the other day on the phone, I said, you did that just for sympathy. It wasn't even real, but
no,
he actually did have surgery that day.
My wife wouldn't bring me out here because she thought I should not leave the house.
So you walked here.
No, I drove.
Oh, you drove. Jimmy, we've of course got, if you're just joining us, Jimmy Logan and Stephen Shelton and myself. It's 10 minutes after the hour. And Jimmy, I want to go over you for a second. Just your overall opinion and take on tonight.
Well, as you know, I'm very, very bashful and shy about expressing my opinions. I've always been that way since we used to do this. In 1971, we started because city council races and the mayor's race, and it was a city commission at that time, those races were held in odd-numbered years. And then the city did what Chattanooga has not yet done. I tried to talk to Mayor Kelly about why they didn't save a little money, because they have their races at a different time than the general elections, as you know, as they do. He refused to comment about that, but Mayor Kelly's quite an interesting man. I think tonight that the race for state representative is viewed by several of the folks I've talked to as being pretty close. There was approximately the last time that they ran?
Yeah, it was 241 votes.
241 votes separated it. I have heard comments regarding each of the candidates in which people are pretty strongly in their positions that one or the other is the best candidate for that position. I've heard people make comments. As you know, Kevin is just an outstanding member of our community, was a county commissioner, but there's not a person who has been more aggressive than Troy Weathers with reference to the issues of education. Education is still going to be a big issue when the legislature reconvenes. So the races across the state with reference to the House of Representatives and the state Senate as well, the state races, I think that we'll learn a lot about whether or not the future holds, again, Governor Lee's proposals with reference to that. So, these races, we think we're talking about just nothing but personality, Steve. However, they make a big difference in what we do in this state. Folks, I checked with a couple of the precincts at 4 o'clock, talked to some of the precinct, the folks who are in charge of those precincts. It's dismal at each of 2 precincts, which I talked to people, and Cindy and I voted at another one. However, it is true, Steve. You can go vote, and let me tell you, it is possible in the Charleston race and in the state House race, your vote can make a difference. I do think that there'll be very close races. In the Charleston race, Steve, you mentioned that earlier, and wow, that could make the difference about the future of the city of Charleston, without question.
As you know, Mr. Logan, that smaller towns like that, the budgets are very tight, and so you've got to make sure you do things there that would, be able to create a balanced budget. But I think that when you look at Charleston, you've got Faye Calloway that's running. Commissioner McCarthy died, tragically when the car fell on him. And so she's going to take that seat with 1 vote. She takes that seat. And so, but on the other side, you have 2 open seats. You have the mayor, Donna McDermott, they'll be rerunning. You have Chris Scoggins, who ran against Louis Alford for commission a couple years ago. You've got David Lattimore, a longtime member of that community up there. So you've got some really good folks running, but it is a turning point in the history of Charleston tonight, which direction they end up going.
Which direction they go to, without any question. Steve, we've been invaded, did you know that? But
I didn't see him on the schedule, but I guess he can do what he wants
well,
to.
I'm willing. You talk
I didn't see a schedule.
Well,
that may be why he wasn't on the schedule.
We're supposed to make predictions. I have a prediction. I'd bet any amount of money against a dollar bill. Steve Hatchett is your new district attorney.
So your first decision,
judicial
the decision desk has spoken. So yes, sir.
I admire Jimmy's confidence, but now my wife said she was writing in someone else.
Mickey Mouse.
She's also
Mickey
called
Mouse.
Jimmy. That's the problem. Well, hey, District Attorney General Hatchett, we are. I think we're going to get your mic on there. We are. Is that right? We're very glad to have you this evening, and just overall, tell us your feelings about this whole election period.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sorry to hear about the turnout, but now Josh Rogers, who fixed my microphone for me, says that a bunch of the schools has an open house tonight, I guess. So school's starting back. I mean, there's a lot of factors that probably come into it. It's hot. We've had some bad weather. So the August election, and I really feel bad. I'm getting all kinds of prompts here. I apparently forgot how to do this.
It's like being at home.
I know, right?
But your voice, it just booms around the courtrooms. If you'd use that same voice here, we'd be able to
this
get it
coming
done.
from James F. Logan.
Yes.
About my courtroom. I'm here to tell you. But I'll tell you who I really have sympathy for are the folks that are running contested races right now. I mean, that's hard. You're out here, you're running, you're doing everything you can. That's a tough situation to be in. So truly, my heart goes out to the folks that are in contested races. You always would love turnout. You would love high turnout. But as I heard Steve say on the way down here, there's still time to go vote. So please get out and vote. But obviously, I've got 4 counties. I'm making the rounds, so I wanted to pop in, say hello to you all.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to extend my sympathy to you, Steve. I'm sorry. I know how that is. Losing a dad is hard. Everybody knows it. Everybody saw me deal with it publicly. So I truly am sorry about that.
Thank you.
But I told my wife and my daughter, I said, we're gonna do a quick county swing and pop in here. I told my daughter, well, I was going to ask my daughter if she wanted to come in here, but she made a beeline for a chair and sit down.
I don't blame her.
Let me talk about you thus far since the primary decision was made. Folks, Steve Hatchett participated in a discussion with the lawyers of the 10th Judicial District. It was a full house as we had a dinner together, and he opened himself up for questions which were directed at, I think to some extent by some lawyers, to be directed at hoping that your position as district attorney would meet with their side of the street to some extent. You were magnificent, Steve Hatchett,
Well, thank you.
in the way that you absolutely maintained the kind of reservation of the integrity of that office.
Well, thank you.
And I want you to know I didn't get to speak to you afterwards at all, but that position that you espoused whenever a question was asked of you showed that Steve Hatchett's about nothing but integrity and the application of the law in a fair manner.
Well, I appreciate that, Jimmy.
Well, you did
I
it.
do. I appreciate that.
Without question, you did it. And I know that there will be some changes in the staff and those things. Those are matters that I don't know the answer to any of those questions, but I know that you've sought out to make sure that you have a competent staff and there's not any disruption in the judicial system. But we've got issues, Steve, that the public's going to have to, and certainly the judges as well, are going to have to make certain that we're up to date on indictments, as I understand it.
Well, that's I certainly hope so. That'll be a good thing. That is the backlog is something that's got to get tackled. So if everything is up to date, that would be super.
Well, the trials are not up to date, and you know that.
Well, I understand that, and you know, I'll tell you, the thing about this office that I truly hope to do, I talked about it when I was running, and I hold to it, is it is about justice. It is about justice, but justice is also getting cases through the system. You don't have cases lagging. You don't have cases dragging, and that's going to be a large part of a focus of my office. And that is, I think, one of the things we've got to have confidence in the justice system. The public has to have confidence in the justice system, and that is a key thing that has to be done. And it's something that I have said it's going to be a priority, and it will be a priority. So I appreciate those kind words, Jimmy. I do. I truly do. You and I have known each other a long time. We've been on opposite sides of the courtroom on more than one occasion. So I do. I appreciate that, and I appreciated the Bar Association putting that on, having me down. I think if you're going to run for office and be elected, I think you need to stand there and talk to your peers. Let people ask you questions. Let people talk to you about whatever they're going to talk about. I spoke at the Optimist Club this morning, and I talked about the things I wanted to do, and a guy raised his hand and said, well, it sounds like you're telling us to judge you by your performance. I said, absolutely. If I fail, go get you a big sign, hold it up. Stephen Hatchett's terrible, or whatever you want to write on it. So I want folks to see results, and if they don't like the results, then I expect them to say, you know what, you need to go do something else. And that's about as honest as I can be on that.
Well, the results are oftentimes not predictable, and the result is the result. Most cases which are tried are decisions made by juries.
Sure, absolutely,
and,
absolutely, yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, folks forget the right to jury trial was in the Declaration of Independence. We literally fought a war over it. Folks don't always read all the way to the end of the Declaration of Independence. The right to jury trial was one of the things that the Founding Fathers said we're not getting, and we're mad about it, and we're prepared to declare our independence. But the results, more of what I was referring to, is get our drug activity rate down, get some of our crime rates down, get some of the things that we've got going on in our community, get them in a better spot. So that I do expect the public to look at me and say, hey, have you been effective or have you not? And I certainly welcome that. So,
well, Steve, he and I could talk the rest of the night.
We can talk
but,
legalese.
Yeah, we could.
That's what that is.
I noticed Steve was getting bored over there.
Well,
He was slouching back in his
I
chair.
only nodded off a few minutes. It's okay. No, we're so happy for you, and of
Thank
course we look forward to working with you here at the station. And of course, any way we've made a service, we'll do it, especially if we get Shelton out of jail, because God knows that's going to happen eventually. So anyway, Stephen Hatchett is our new District Attorney General. Hey, really, thank you for coming by. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you all having me on as always, and it's great seeing you folks. If I can ever be of assistance to you folks or any of you folks out there, please contact my office.
All right, we look forward to
Thank you,
it.
gentlemen.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Let's take a quick time out here once again. It's election night on Mix 104.1 and MixTV.tv. It's all presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm. You can also follow along on our website tonight. Have the results posted there at mymix1041.com. We'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
For more than 50 years, Cleveland Plywood Company has been serving our community. They're dedicating to providing quality products with professional service to all of Cleveland and our surrounding area. They offer easy pickup or delivery on everything in stock. Cleveland Plywood carries every element of the building process, including windows, doors, truss, flooring materials, shingles, and of course, building lumber. Stop by and visit them. Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street, Northeast in Cleveland, or call 472-3357.
How's those fries you've been craving? I'm hot and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow. So get Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Keith Street, 479-5431.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Bender Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Bender Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Bender Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, bender-realty.com.
Volunteer Ridipest makes it easy to have a pest-free home with their risk-free money-back guarantee. If you've seen one, you haven't seen them all. Let Volunteer Ridipest handle it, the best in the industry. Call Chattanooga's oldest and family-owned full-service pest control company today.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with a better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing, and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today, Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Sun Paper, conveniently located in historic downtown Cleveland, a local family-owned business specializing in restaurant hospitality and janitorial supplies. They carry tons of items for your restaurant, food truck, school, coffee shop, church, or office. Sun Paper also has items for your home, including disposable plates, cups, and cutlery at very competitive prices. New this year, they brought in a full line of premium chef knives. Follow Sun Paper on Facebook for a chance to win a 7-piece chef knife set with case. No purchase necessary. Sun Paper, 393 Broad Street, downtown Cleveland, open to the public and delivery available.
Choices matter. Please buckle up, put your phone down, and drive sober. Join the movement. The 24/7 movement can help us create positive change.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage. on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
All right, good evening, everyone. As we come now near the half hour of at 7:28, you're listening to Mix 1041, or you're watching us on MixTV.tv. Don't forget, you can listen or watch us on your phones, your mobile devices, through the free Mix 1041 app. That's a free download on the website at mymix1041.com. We have just had a very interesting post made on the Bradley County Election Commission Facebook page. I want to read it now. And it says, quote, this is actually 2 hours ago. It says, quote, "Our sincere apologies for parking inconveniences at some of our voting precincts this evening. They say it's out of our control. The school system schedules school activities on Election Day evening. However, we submit election calendars years in advance. This is a reminder that," and they talk about, now they're talking about early voting, October 16th to the 27th for the presidential election and November 5th presidential election. Avoid the lines. Shelton, what do you make of all this?
That's poor planning. Number one, it's kind of like scheduling a ball game on prom night, kind of type of deal. So the schools should have known better than this. You can't flood a parking lot when they're being used for election purposes. So as you said, when you read from the statement, they've done this years in advance. I know Jimmy served in many capacities with the voting commission, and Jimmy, it's just one of those things that you want to try to make the voting process as easy as possible, and this does anything but that.
And I've got to give a shout out to Lee University. That precinct where you came into the circle in front of the administrative building and then actually the president's building, as we call it now. What a great, they cleared parking spaces in front of the university, which are typically utilized by lots of folks, even this period of time before the students all arrive. But Lee University provided the meals for the election workers.
Oh, nice.
Lee University provided some water, cold water, and a little break for the election workers. Lee University is such an important part of our community, Steve, and we've got to do some things to make sure that we increase the folks who are going to Lee University. And there are some big issues out there, folks. So keep Lee University in your thoughts and in your prayers as an entity, because the new changes, and I do not know what the reconstituted board is, who's been added to that, but Lee University is facing some very, very significant issues, as is the community, as a result of Lee professors no longer being available and other things that are out there. Lee is so important to us. We've got to support Lee University.
I'm still waiting on my diploma from Dr. Kahn, so that's a sore subject.
He doesn't give a diploma.
He doesn't care. It is, I do want to point out, though, and I know we got that Facebook post from the Election Commission, the elementary schools that are holding open houses tonight in Bradley County, it is not all of them. It is some of them. We do know that one elementary, Michigan Avenue, had to cancel their open house tonight because of an issue with the flooring there. They were waiting on it to dry. So at any rate, but yeah, there are several elementary schools in the county having open houses. Jimmy, as you look at this sample ballot, what sticks out to you?
It's fascinating.
Sample ballot, the ballot.
The actual ballot itself. That's correct. For the few people who will vote in the Democrat primary, that's a big issue as to the senatorial candidate in the Democrat primary. There's been a lot of controversy about Gloria Johnson and some of the representatives when that came up. But this state representatives race around the state, is, as I pointed out already, I think is one of the more significant things in terms of our state, our education systems, and those things. The contested races for the general election are going to be a little more interesting. Certainly we would expect that the Republican nominees will be elected, but that I like to look at the state ballots for the Republican primaries and the state Democrat primaries every year. As we pointed out, there's a bigger turnout, I think, is going to be at the Walker Valley because, as Shelton and I were talking earlier, that Charleston City Commission race is going to bring some folks to the polls. I do think that's true. The other thing is, if there is that 240 votes, what happened to the other votes which were present 2 years ago when the same candidates, but plus two other candidates, were present? And how is that divided up? So I think that could be the most intriguing issue that we have tonight. Sheldon, what about it?
Yeah, I agree. You know, you've got, again, Faye Calloway, who will take over for the late Frankie McCarthy, who served the city very well. Then you have two that they're going to pick from you, but you have Melissa Kersey, who used to be Melissa Dixon, graduated from Charleston. David Lattimore, long time Charleston resident, lifelong resident, retired from Bowater, has served on the Bowater Credit Union board for it seems like forever. You have Donna McDermott, who is serving as mayor. Donna actually withdrew from this at one point, and then went to the election commission, found out she couldn't withdraw. The name's already on the ballot. She got back in the race, and then you have Chris Scoggins, his cousin or nephew, Stanton Scoggins, and then Matthew Wiley, who's running as well. So you've got 6 people running for 2 spots and not a lot of votes. So we could come down to 30 votes could be something that puts somebody in. So I know they've all worked pretty hard to try to get those 2, but again, just a lot of differences of opinion on how the city should move forward.
Something I do want to point out, you spent quite a while last night, Shelton, putting together some history for us about what happened, especially in the previous election. Yeah, I mean, when we look at House 24,
I think something that Jimmy hit on was a couple, where did the votes go that were there last time? So if we look, Jimmy, at the last election on the Republican side of the ticket for House 24, there's 2 candidates that's not running this time, Israel Farless and Rex Wagner. They had 1,537 votes combined last time in a race that was decided by 250 votes. And so where do those 1,500 votes fall this time? And that could be a really decision maker.
I think so. And to my knowledge, neither of the candidates who are not running made a public endorsement.
Wasn't a public. I think they worked. I know Mr. Farless worked the phones a little bit for one of the candidates. Other than that, there was no that I was privileged to any public endorsement whatsoever.
Well, I think that the radio station here, My Mix 104.1, they've done pretty well with the.
Despite the leadership.
They've been out here, I think.
Gideon and Ryan.
Yeah, the advertisements yesterday, didn't they go up past 11 o'clock last night?
Well, they got the message out.
So the other part of that is District 5. You've got 3 individuals running. You have Dwayne Koff, you have Mark Gravel, right, and you have Dan Jones running for the retiring Dale Hughes seat. And then you have, of course, that Avery Johnson's at-large seat that'll be up for grabs tonight as well. And so I just think this is an interesting time because there's to replace 2 members of the 7-member city council is a pretty big night for the city of Cleveland.
I think it really is. And the changes may not be as precipitous as some people think in terms of the leadership of the city council. It was interesting to me, the endorsement which was made publicly and regularly for one of the candidates in the that race for the state representative seat. Now, I do know, because people have told me, that Heartline and I were really neck and neck in one of the races. I do know, I've got a photograph to show you where that a person took a picture of them writing in Jimmy Logan.
Jimmy Logan took that picture.
No, I did not. Why not? Would you want to talk about somebody as nice as Tucker Duncan? Who may have done such a thing?
Oh, come on. Tucker Duncan. Don't bring him up. All right. Hello, Tucker. I tell you what, I do want to talk about, though, Jimmy, on the Democratic side of the 22nd, where we've got the Republican incumbent Dan Howell, has no opponent tonight. However, we've got a couple of Democrats. Stan Herter is one of those, and Anna Grabowski is the other. We had Anna Grabowski. We had all these candidates in at one time in the mornings. The other morning we had Anna in here, yesterday morning actually, and she said, "You know what? You can pick Stan Herter or you can pick me." She said, "We really agree on things, but they're both they're in an election battle tonight."
They are, and I enjoyed the presentation which was done, Steve, with you chairing that public presentation at the Chamber of Commerce. But I must tell you that the reception by that group, I think, was very, very interesting, as you saw some people clapping a little bit louder for one or the other. But the one person, and I don't even recall what his position is that he's running for, was the individual who said, you won't see my signs in the roads or along the roadways. They are so beautiful that people want to take them home.
That's Dan Jones. That's Dan Jones running for city council. Yeah. Absolutely. He was in here this morning, actually. Dan brought his sign in here this morning.
Yes.
I tell you what, let's take another break here. It's 20 before 8. Just this quick reminder, polls do not close until 8 o'clock. And as Shelton reminded us earlier, if you're in line, you must be allowed to vote. If you've not voted, get out and vote. Jimmy said a few weeks ago, these elections, a lot of ways, these local elections matter more to us here than even the national elections. So get out and vote if you haven't yet. You've got time to get to your precinct. We're going to continue on. Polls will close at 8. Should have early voting, maybe a half hour or so, usually, if we had to average that out after 8 o'clock. We're on Mix 1041. We're on MixTV.tv. Hey, we're on your phones, your mobile devices, the free Mix 1041 app. It's a free download thanks to CHI Memorial. Election night coverage from our stations this evening, and we'll come back. It's all presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm. We're back in a moment.
How's those fries you've been craving? I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow. So get Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Keith Street, 479-5431.
Our legal system is complex, and your case may impact several areas of the law. Don't just hire a lawyer who focuses on one thing. Hire a team of experienced attorneys ready to handle your case wherever it may lead. Call Logan Thompson, one of the area's most respected law firms. From personal injury to criminal and family law, from contract disputes to disability, the team at Logan Thompson will work together to ensure you are well represented and well compensated. Logan Thompson, we fight to win.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Hi, I'm Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home of Cleveland. Here's some video testimonials of families who recently served to tell you about their experiences at Poole Funeral Home.
I'd like to take time to thank Brian Poole and the staff at Poole Funeral Homes for the recent services that they conducted for my mother. Her death was a very stressful time for my family, and the staff went above and beyond the compassion and the kindness that they provided for me and my family. Thank you so much again, Brian. We really appreciate you and all the work of your team.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
And welcome back. We are live on election night on Mix 1041 on MixTV.tv. And again, the polls close in about 15 minutes from now, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It has been low turnout, almost record lows, I was told earlier today by the Election Commission. And we were checking in earlier this afternoon. Things had not really improved that much on Election Day, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. As always, I've been for over 20 years. Jimmy Logan joins us tonight. Shelton is in the bathroom. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Why not?
I thought he'd gone to get something to eat, but
he's Papa John's. Papa John's is thanks to Papa John's. They have provided a dinner for our election crew tonight. There you go.
Yes, but you don't allow us to eat while we're on the air.
You can go ahead. I don't care.
Well,
I do it all the time. Well, Bridget really doesn't. Bridget won't stop doing it. I mean, my Lord, you know.
Well,
so anyway.
Steve, this My Mix TV has turned into just a wonderful, wonderful thing in the for the community. People can see people, maybe change the perspective from the words they see, but actually the demeanor which is displayed. I think that's true of most advertisements which people use on the television or when they're in person on My Mix TV. Mm-hmm. That's true of the national television stations as well. Mm-hmm. Mentioning that, Steve, tell me about where we are in terms of the gold medals.
Yeah, last report, Ryan, maybe you can help me a little bit with that. It was about 27 the last time I looked for the United States, not gold, but overall, the Olympics earlier today. Well, they have
37.
37 total for United States?
9 gold, 15 silver, 13 bronze.
And one of the goals was the wonderful, wonderful lady who's in there for repeat.
It'd be gymnastics, Simone Biles?
Yes, Simone Biles. And it has been really entertaining. Several people have not wanted to hear some of the stories, and they've waited to get home to watch with their children.
Yes.
And you talk about something that's fascinating is when you see a child performing as some of those folks have. And wow, is it Japan that's still ahead of the curve? Or did China catch up with them? Well, we're going to find out in just a few moments. Folks, we are here on election night, and we want to make sure that if you haven't voted, you take advantage of the opportunity to go vote.
China's first.
China's first.
First in what? Overall?
First in gold.
On gold, okay. Ryan Lovelace is our reporter, which means we know nothing. He is horrible at what he does. All right, we're here at Mix 104.1 and MixTV.tv as again we're looking very closely at those contested races tonight. Obviously, Jimmy, a lot of the attention has been on the state representative race in the 24th district. We have it's really a repeat from a couple of years ago. With the incumbent, Kevin Raper, being challenged again by Troy Weathers.
I think that's a very, very potentially very, very close race. 241 votes previously, and we don't know where the 1,500 or so votes are going without any endorsements. One of the things, and I don't want it to adversely impact anybody, who the endorsement has been made by with reference to one of the candidates for that state representative's race. It might shock you that it would be somebody named Kevin.
Yeah.
But
the mayor came out and endorsed the incumbent. Yeah.
That's correct.
City mayor.
City mayor. And, education is the middle name of Troy Weathers. And folks, there's nothing more significant, I think, in our state budget. Nothing a lot more significant, but certainly a lot of issues are very important. But funding for education is going to be a hot topic this year, and that's going to be fascinating, myself.
I'll tell you what's fascinating, and Shelton, you may want to comment. You and I were talking about this the other day. Is this Senate District 2? Because it's a very sliver, right there. Talk about that for a second.
Well, it's the Hatcher, Tom Hatcher is running there, and it's just a very, very small district for the state of Tennessee, and you've got 3 individuals running for this on the Republican side of the ticket for this, and from if signs don't vote, but if they did, Tom Hatcher is well on his way to a victory. But yeah, it's a very, very small part of the district. But Jimmy, it doesn't matter how many people these representatives represent; they still have the same voice in Nashville when they go to vote.
They do, and they are there to represent the interest of people who have voted otherwise. The children of a person who lost a race count just as much as the children of someone who didn't vote or who hasn't told their state representative what their position is when they take office and they're there. I've talked to representatives in various districts across the state, and some districts the representative says, nobody's told me their position about a specific issue. And that's shocking. Folks, your state representative and your state senator, they will listen to the position you take in these matters. And they will listen to it. As you know, there were a couple of issues, one of which impacts one of the races we have for state representative between the respective Dan Howell and the Democrat candidate there. It's about sludge. And that's also about landfills. Big issues across the state about landfills. And, you know, a lot of folks don't think that that really counts. It counts. The state laws relating to every issue we face are so important. And we see them changing from the legal side of this. We see the law changing fairly regularly.
Shelton's pull up this Senate District 2 for me here on the screen, and there's a little sliver here in the Bradley County in that corner. Then all the way up Shelton past Maryville, really, there in Blount County.
It's weird the way they just took out just a chunk of the southwest or southeast corner of Bradley County, and then Polk, and then on up, really up. You kind of follow 411 up, and it's again a small area, but it's the way it's shaped. It's just very kind of weird the way it encompasses multiple counties.
Yeah, and the needs of those different counties is fascinating because you take the 9th Judicial District, go all the way from Decatur to the state line.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Where are we, the people who listen to the radio stations and listen to or read the newspapers, either paper or digitally? Their needs are different. I have supported and tried to get realignment of Meigs County into the 10th Judicial District. Where do those folks from Meigs County get their news? From the Cleveland Daily Banner, from the Daily Post Athenian, from WCLE, from the other things. Meigs County and McMinn County are sisters, and they love each other. They play football against each other. They do other things, and they compete. It's time that we began to make our state and our judicial districts more efficient. Now, this is a crazy old man, folks, but I've seen.
Don't talk about Shelton like that.
Well, I didn't know Shelton was talking.
Crazy old man.
Yes, but it is so important. And if the folks in Meigs County and the state senator from Meigs County and McMinn County, why don't we, and going all the way over to Ray County, look, I don't have many good answers except in terms of representing my clients, but we've got to become more involved in all of the issues of government. Government does not need to be purely political. It needs to be efficient and effective and as good from the standpoint of expenditures of the people. I'm preaching to the choir, I know, but nobody else sings.
All right, we're going to take another quick time out here. You're listening to Mix 104.1, MixTV.tv. Polls close in about 5 minutes in Bradley County and the eastern part of the state. So, again, election night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Should have some results here pretty soon, one would think, especially watching these contested races tonight. And we're back in a moment.
Have you been the victim of drive-by pest control? That's when your pest control company comes to your home with no appointment, treats a little around the outside, and then charges you for it. We know you deserve better. When you do business with us, we will call and set an appointment. We will arrive on time. We will perform a thorough treatment, and if you're not 100% happy, you don't have to pay a penny. So don't put up with drive-by pest control. Call the local guys. We've been serving the greater Chattanooga area since 1970. Call 698-7205 or go to volpest.com.
For more than 50 years, Cleveland Plywood Company has been serving our community. They're dedicating to providing quality products with professional service to all of Cleveland and our surrounding area. They offer easy pickup or delivery on everything in stock. Cleveland Plywood carries every element of the building process, including windows, doors, truss, flooring materials, shingles, and of course, building lumber. Stop by and visit them. Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street, Northeast in Cleveland, or call 472-3357.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
How's those fries you've been craving? I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug.
And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow.
Forget Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Keith Street, 479-5431.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Vendor Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Vendor Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Vendor Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, vendor-realty.com.
Have you been the victim of drive-by pest control? That's when your pest control company comes to your home with no appointment, treats a little around the outside, and then charges you for it. We know you deserve better. When you do business with us, we will call and set an appointment. We will arrive on time. We will perform a thorough treatment, and if you're not 100% happy, you don't have to pay a penny. So don't put up with drive-by pest control. Call the local guys. We've been serving the greater Chattanooga area since 1970. Call 698-7205 or go to volpest.com.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with the better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing, and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today. Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
Prior to 8 p.m. and the closing of the polls in Bradley County. They've been open for about 12 hours, and I'm joined by Stephen Shelton, also Jimmy Logan tonight. We're getting close now to the polls closing, which means, Shelton, we're just a few minutes away, usually, from early voting results.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the early voting results because, as we've seen historically, they don't usually change very much, and that'll give us a very good picture of where we are moving forward throughout the night as the precincts start to come in and the picture really starts to develop a little better. So we should have those. I would think usually it's about 10 to 15 minutes after the polls close that they release those, and then we'll be able to really start kind of deep diving into some of that.
It is 8 o'clock, and it's time to make some calls now, as we will now call officially the unopposed races. And let's do that right now. All right, these are all unopposed races. Let's begin in the Bradley County Board of Education, where Jeff Lovingood is returning. He had no wait a second. No opponent beat Lovingood. Shelton, I don't know if you heard that. This is unbelievable. Lovingood and I will return for Lovingood's Losers, our football show later this fall. All right, Lovingood. County Schools, Nancy Kaysen, wonderful job this morning, Nancy. And she does a tremendous job. Unopposed, Nancy Kaysen returns District 1. Lovingood, by the way, District 7. We have Teddy Bryson returning back in District 3 for the Bradley County Board of Education, and Rachel Goins back in District 5, Bradley County Board of Education. We're calling all the unopposed races here, obviously. Cleveland City Council, Tom Cassida said he's looking in tonight. Hello, Tom and Denise. In District 3, Tom, of course, returns unopposed. David May Jr. is, of course, unopposed. In District 4, Cleveland City Council, he returns.
I'm going to break in here. We have early voting results have just been released by the Bradley County elections. Right. So I want to, if I may, get right into those. This is early voting only. Early voting only. House 24 race in the Republican primary, you have 2,468 votes have been cast in early voting. It is right now, write-ins have 4. Troy Weathers, 1,065. Kevin Raper, 1,399. Again, Kevin Raper, 1,399. Troy Weathers, 1,065. This is in early voting alone. So that will give Representative Raper right now about a 330 vote lead coming out of early voting. So that is that's a little bit of a shocker there. Let's move down to City of Charleston early voting. You have 50 votes for David Lattimore, 27 votes for Donna McDermott, 35 votes for Matthew Wiley. You have 12 votes for Chris Scoggins, 5 votes for Andy Scoggins, and 6 votes for Melissa Kersey. So right now, remember, those are two. 2 of those will move on to serve on the City Commission for the City of Charleston. Right now, after early voting, it would be Matthew Wiley and David Lattimore. Both those would be serving their first terms as commissioners in Charleston. At City Council at Large, early voting, Dan Moore, 1,381. Warbett Lowry, 423. Lowry, 423. Dan Moore, 1,381. District 5, City of Cleveland, Council race, early voting, Daniel F. Jones, 59 votes. Mark Gravel, 226 votes. Dwayne Goff, 331 votes. Again, early voting, Daniel Jones, 59, Mark Gravel, 226, and Dwayne Goff, 331.
All right, so that report just in as early voting comes in, and there you see it if you're watching mixtv.tv. And, of course, let's go to that City Council at Large, Shelton, where Dan Moore, that's, of course, an open seat there, Dan.
That's
with
Avery Johnson's seat.
Yep, Avery retiring. That's Dan Moore, big lead. You see about 77% of the vote to Lowry's about 23. You go down. Hey, let's drop an E off the Goff there, but that's okay. He's at 53, nearly 54% of the vote. Mark Gravel at about 37%, and Daniel Jones there with about 10%. Jimmy Logan, what do you, quick analysis?
Well, I don't think that the Dan Moore race, or Dan Moore's lead, is anything other than expected. Of course, the Moore family has contributed greatly to the community over the years. Some people would think that Dan's dad is pretty blunt and straightforward with reference to his view. I think I've told you the story about the kitten. Dan Moore lived next door to us. I got to tell you, this is just the sweetest story. And he wanted a kitten, and we had taken in a bunch of kittens and with their mother. Guess what happened? Dan came up. He was going to get one, but he came up 3 days before he was supposed to get the kitten, and he brought a blanket. He wanted that blanket to be placed against that kitten and the kitten's mother. That's the sweetest young man. He was just about 8 years of age at the time. Great kid.
All right, absolutely. Let's go again, repeating, as Shelton just told you. State Representative District 24, Kevin Raper, the incumbent, with a lead, 1,399 to Troy Weathers, 1,065. Shelton, what do you think?
I'm a little shocked. I really, if you look at this race from start to finish now on this election day, Troy Weathers had just a great head start while Representative Raper was serving in Nashville. He was able to hit the ground running. As Jimmy could tell you, you cannot campaign while you're in session. You cannot fundraise. You cannot campaign whatsoever. So you're really locked in Nashville until the session's over with. So I thought that, just to be blunt, I thought that Kevin Raper was really slow out of the gate after session was over with. I think in the last 30 days of this race, the entire race has been turned turned on its head with the Tennessee Right to Life endorsement, with the NRA endorsement. Those things are still mean quite a bit in Southeast Tennessee. So I think those helped, and I think his messaging got very sharp at the end. I think he was pretty on point with what his expectations were for his second term if reelected. So I just think that he did a good job in these last 30 days. I would have assumed this would have been flipped 30 days ago if you had asked me. But again, over a 300 vote lead at this point is pretty telling, I think, of the last 30 days.
Well, as we've experienced over the past several years, generally speaking, the early vote percentages with the final vote percentages are pretty close to the same. We've seen a 2% change in a couple of those, but the district attorney's race in the Republican primary was a fascinating race, and as to that. But it's pretty predictable, folks. The people who go early vote are much the same as the folk who vote on Election Day.
Let's, hey, Austin, will you put that graphic, well, not that one. Put the one up, the Democratic primary you just had up, because we also have, of course, the radio audience as well. Maybe you're not watching. Tennessee House Representative District 22, Anna Grabowski, 69, Stan Herder, 44. And remember here, the winner of this race will take on Dan Howell, the incumbent in District 22, who is unopposed tonight. And so that, of course, in November, as you know, this is a local general and then a state and federal primary tonight. So the state and federal candidates move on to November. Let me pick back up with, of course, we had that early voting. It's one of the fastest early voting results we've ever received. About 8:05, if you're keeping score at home, is when that came in. All right, other candidates who are unopposed tonight, Cleveland Board of Education at large is Nate Tucker. Also, Cleveland Board of Education District 1, Carolyn Ingram, the longtime former principal and educator. Also in the Chuck Fleischman race there in the U.S. Congress in this district. It is both Fleischman and his opponent is Jack Allen, a Democrat banker in the Athens area, Jimmy.
Well thought of for certain. Yep. Chuck Fleischman's experience is very, very valuable. I really have a great deal of respect for Jack Allen. As you know, he was a very, very highly regarded financier. Bank operations were his. Certainly, he knew those operations quite well and was highly respected. But Chuck Fleischman, you got to say that our district is still highly Republican, ever since Marilyn Lloyd.
That's right, the late great Marilyn Lloyd. Let's continue on some of these unopposed tonight. Tennessee in the Democratic primary, Tennessee Senate District 2, Patty Young. Of course, she moves on to November. We have a couple of constables who are unopposed tonight. Constable in the 1st District is Darren Brantley, of course, moves on. And then Constable District 6, Richard Burnett moves on. Of course, Burnett on the Barney Fife one-bullet rule that they stick in his pocket. Let's see here. So there you go. I believe we've got all the – we do. Well, one more, Andrea Chase. The Democrat moves on in the 24th District. She'll face the winner of Raper and Weathers. There you see Andrea Chase, who leads the Solomon Family Solutions. She was in a couple of days ago. And so there you have it. Hey, Stanley Thompson, I would never forget about you. Assessor of Properties, Stanley. Has been unopposed for many, many years. And Stanley will continue. And, of course, we are to been joined by Steve Hatchett. District Attorney Stephen Hatchett, who is unopposed. Let me go one more here, that United States Senate race. Marsha Blackburn, the incumbent, big lead in Bradley County, 90% over Trace Whittam there with about 10%. By the way, Senator Blackburn will join us tomorrow morning on the phone. We'll have her on tomorrow morning. So I think that's got the whole picture here.
It does.
At this moment.
Well, the United States Senate Republican primary, I've found that to be an interesting race, as we have seen the person who leads that race, generally speaking.
And Jimmy, they're showing us. If you want to read that, can you see that from there? The Democratic primary.
Let me sit in your lap,
yeah, there you go.
if I may.
Go to the bottom. There's a leader.
Gloria Johnson, in our early voting, well known in East Tennessee, well thought of in East Tennessee, a Democrat who's been in the House of Representatives for a number of years. She's expected to carry East Tennessee and parts of Middle Tennessee. West Tennessee will probably, it could make a difference in that race without question, because Ms. Bradshaw. But I suspect that in Tennessee today, it's a solid Republican state.
All right, so we are live here on Mix 104.1, mixtv.tv. Thank you so much. I understand a lot of people are watching and listening right now, all over the world, really, and a lot of people tuning in from out of town who are from this area. So we're watching several races tonight, and just to repeat, early voting numbers came in, folks, very quickly, about 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. And in the State Representative District 24, the incumbent Kevin Raper, 1,399. The challenger Troy Weathers, 1,065. That race got the most attention in our area, in this community. City Council District 5, that's where Goff has the lead on Gravel. That's another contested race over Dan Jones, 331 to 226. 259. So you go to the top two there. It's a little 105 votes. Goff the lead there. I see we dropped the E. That's very nice. It's like when Dan Quayle put an E on potato. It's a similar situation. Not to call Mr. Goff a potato or Mr. Potato Head, for instance. Let's see here. We also have... well, that's funny. Hello, Constable Burnett, apparently tuned in tonight. I did make the Barney 5 joke. Yes, that's very true. Of course, we'll talk later. We're getting a lot, beginning to get some numbers in here, Jimmy. One more, Shelton, in the City Council at-large. Watch very closely. Dan Moore's got a big lead there in the at-large race.
Yeah, we're getting prepared to call that race. There's just not enough votes left for Mr. Lowry at this point in the game with this really Dan up by almost 900 votes. So Dan's going to move on and will serve now in Avery Johnson's seat, who served this city very well for many years. And so I think Dan and his family, like Jimmy said, it's they've served this county well for many years, but never really in a political kind of setting as Dan is about to.
No question about it, but of course his opponent in the race, when we had, of course, the Chamber of Commerce and the other forums, the Reverend Lowry is a good and decent man. Absolutely. He was very impressive in his presentation, and my suggestion is that he probably will contribute in the future, and I think that he'll be shown a great deal of respect as he'll make some contributions, my belief.
But you know, Jimmy, as you would agree, as Shelton talked about, none of Dan Moore's family have ever been political. That's because Joe Moore could not get elected for dog catcher, for anything. So, I mean, you know, he's just so terribly negative, nobody listened to him.
Well, generally speaking, though, he's made a lot of money, and that's it.
Well, I'll probably get beaten over the head again by Joseph Moore. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. We have a call to make right now, and we're going to do that with Gloria. Well, we'll begin here. Dan Moore, we are projecting, has won the Cleveland City Council at-large seat. He is, as Shelton just said, going into a seat held by the great Avery Johnson, who's done so much in this community, vice mayor, of course, to Mayor Tom Rowland, and then to Kevin Brooks, Mayor Brooks. And let's go ahead and project that. Dan Moore, your city council at large. And also, I believe we have another call to make. Let's do it right here. Senator Marsha Blackburn will win the Bradley County Republican primary.
She will win the whole world.
State. I apologize. You're calling for the state.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So
No
we're going to
question.
say there's not enough votes, and we are projecting that tonight. Now, Shelton, I do want to go back to the city of Charleston race. That is fascinating what's happening there.
It really is. Again, Faye Calloway will instantly win. She will fill in for the rest of the term there from Frankie McCarthy, late Frankie McCarthy. But now you have two candidates that's vying, or I'm sorry, 6 candidates vying for 2 seats, and it's very fancy. 135 votes so far in the city of Charleston in this part of the race that they'll elect 2. And right now, David Lattimore with 50. There's 6 people running, and David Lattimore has 37% of the vote, which is fascinating to me. Matthew Wiley has got 25, almost 26% of the vote with 50 and 35. The current mayor, Donna McDermott, has 27, and then Chris Scoggins has 12. That's the only 4 that's in double digits currently. So it will be, those are so close, though, Steve. This could go any way today. So right now, again, Lattimore with 50, Wiley with 35, then Donna McDermott, the current mayor, with 27, and, of course, Chris Scoggins with 12.
Let me also go back to the call we made in the United States Senate race with Blackburn. Those races called by the Associated Press.
Yes.
So Blackburn and Gloria Johnson's also been
not
called.
Josh Rogers.
Not who?
Not Josh Rogers.
I know who that is. Come on in, Senator. Who's Josh Rogers? Anyway, Senator Adam Lowe is going to join us here in just a moment. But I will also mention Gloria Johnson, who is going to go on, it looks like, and win the Democratic primary, and will take on Blackburn, Senator Blackburn, in November. Right there. But we have State Senator Adam Lowe joining us. Adam, good evening.
Before you say anything, I don't think I'd call the Gloria Johnson race yet. Shelby County.
The AP called it, not us.
AP did it?
How
about that?
Press,
How about that?
The great wisdom.
We're not believing you guys, the decision
Yes.
desk. We're believing the AP.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to offend the AP, but let me tell you, there's one person in Nashville that writes all the articles the AP gets. If that person gets it wrong, it's wrong in perpetuity out to everybody. So it's okay. Esquire
Sheldon
Logan
said to me-
question the AP. I like it.
Well,
Sheldon
you know
said
what
I
happened
like
last
it.
time.
What's perpetuity?
I like it. Thanks for having me on, guys. Big night. It's good not to be on the ballot. I was not on the ballot. So thank you for your non-vote today. It's still a pleasure to serve you.
Well, that's wonderful, and thank you for your service to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes,
and
growing.
It's
Planted
growing
one in Ray County. It's booming.
and
growing locally. Yeah,
it's just astonishing, the growth and the development of the Boys and Girls Club all across this probably a 100-mile radius that we are, and that's astonishing how you and the leadership at the Boys and Girls Club, the board of directors, and the other people have just done a fabulous job.
yeah. Wonderful community support. Wonderful community support. So.
Well, let me ask you, Senator. Did you hear our comments any earlier as you were traveling around? Did you have the radio on? Okay.
No, I catch it in pieces. I often tune in. You can get some really good historical lectures from Esquire Logan. You've been around this thing for a long time, and you provide a lot of context to that. So I try to tune in.
Well, I was mentioning the need for Meigs County to be a part of the 10th Judicial District. We've had judicial district reforms in the past, but tell me the sense it makes for Meigs County to the state line with just a finger going up in the 9th Judicial District.
It's very precarious for me because I serve alongside a number of district attorneys now and different judges, and it's not as clean as it once was. I need to pull this up. Okay, they want me to do this like you were supposed to. An MC here. Nobody wants to see my face and my growls. But it's a precarious situation for those of us who have to serve across those judicial districts. But in my particular 2 districts, I have wonderful judges, wonderful district attorneys, wonderful public defenders. We have great relationships, so I think we've navigated it as well as you possibly can. But as far as the ultimate wisdom and where lines get drawn, I'm not sure there is some ultimate wisdom in how lines get drawn.
How about the utilization of an IQ above 100?
Well, that's a heavy indictment there, Mr. Logan. I don't know who that would be levied against, but I guess a number of people. This is, I guess, where I say, IQ tests aren't always the most accurate form.
Achievement
of intellect.
counts. Achievement.
And, but I get what you're saying is, people using a little more sense and a little less reasoning. Those are two different things. Some common sense goes a long way in looking at things. But I did hear your comments where you're talking about McMinn County and Meigs County kind of are copacetic in how they function, and there's a lot of truth to that.
Well, thank you about that. What do you see the future hold for us in the Tennessee legislature regarding education and the continued dispute as to whether or not we will be utilizing public funds for private schools?
Well, tonight's a big night to give us a little look into that. So I promised my district I'd pull back the curtain when I could, so let's pull back the curtain. Frank Nicely's losing right now, who is a solid conservative, been in the legislature, in the Senate for a number of years, up on Capitol Hill for 20 plus, and he had a heavy campaign against him from school choice groups. That they really came into that race, and it seems like they're having an impact on that race. We've seen several House races in Tennessee where those school choice groups have targeted, key incumbents to try to replace them with more school choice open, not necessarily school choice advocates, but school choice open people. So there could be a political impact on this race, and anybody can kind of look at the news media and see that that's been unfolding for some time. So tonight we'll tell where we wind up in the legislature.
Right. I do think that's correct. We should be getting a phone call from one of the final votes at one of the precincts. Steve, I'm going to step out for just a moment and see if that's what I think it is.
All right. Well, Senator Lowe, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Anything else you want to add here before we go?
I'll just say pay attention to the statewide races. A lot of that's going to impact even what happens here at home, not just in education, but in some other fields. It matters who governs. And I like to come on during these times when I'm not on the ballot to say the thing that I always want to say. If you ran for office, I've won races, I've lost races. If you ran for office, I have the utmost respect for you, because there are a number of people who don't have the gumption to even put their name out there. And to run for office is to essentially thrust yourself into a middle school cafeteria for everyone to just judge and scrutinize. That's what I equate it to. And you've chosen to take all the bullets in the public space, stand strong because of something that you believed in. So I commend you for the venture. Be kind to the losers, victors. Be kind to the losers. To those who don't win tonight, be gracious in loss. We all have to unite at some point for good governance. So let's have that.
All right, Senator, thank you so much. We're going to take a break right here. You are listening to Mix 104.1. You're watching us on mixtv.tv, and we're getting some more numbers in here. We'll start digesting those and bringing those to you coming up as it's a big night. A lot of races to follow. Stick in here with us tonight on a Thursday night, the first day of August. And we're on mixtv.tv, Mix 104.1, presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm. And we'll be right back in a moment.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
Sun Paper, conveniently located in historic downtown Cleveland, a local family-owned business specializing in restaurant, hospitality, and janitorial supplies. They carry tons of items for your restaurant, food truck, school, coffee shop, church, or office. Sun Paper also has items for your home, including disposable plates, cups, and cutlery at very competitive prices. New this year, they brought in a full line of premium chef knives. Follow Sun Paper on Facebook for a chance to win a 7-piece chef knife set with case. No purchase necessary. Sun Paper, 393 Broad Street, downtown Cleveland, open to the public and delivery available.
Choices matter. Please buckle up, put your phone down, and drive sober. Join the movement, the 24/7 movement, and help us create positive change.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Hi, I'm Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home of Cleveland. Here's some video testimonials of families who recently served to tell you about their experiences at Poole Funeral Home.
Hi, I'm Chuck Marvin. Years ago, we lost my mom and she wanted to be cremated. We got her cremains back in a box like this. Just recently, we lost my wife and used Poole Funeral Home and Crematory, and she came back in a box like this. Now I asked you, which one says dig it?
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted and they found me that truck.
For more than 50 years, Cleveland Plywood Company has been serving our community. They're dedicating to providing quality products with professional service to all of Cleveland and our surrounding area. They offer easy pickup or delivery on everything in stock. Cleveland Plywood carries every element of the building process, including windows, doors, truss, flooring materials, shingles, and of course, building lumber. Stop by and visit them. Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street, Northeast in Cleveland, or call 472-3357.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
Hey, welcome back, folks. It's election night right here in Bradley County. And you know where the best place to get the results is? My Mix 1041, especially with Steve Shelton participating.
That's right. That's exactly
Absolutely.
right.
But who's this man standing up at the microphone?
Oh, that guy.
Well, he's the insurance man, isn't he, Steve Shelton?
Absolutely.
My mentor, George Gray.
I don't know about your mentor. I learned so much from you.
You're saying he's so much older than you. Is that what you're saying? George, good evening.
Good evening, guys. Great job tonight. You always do a great job. Best coverage in the country.
Oh, hello. My goodness.
Maybe
just,
close.
You're
Maybe
just
close.
full of it. And it ain't Jesus. George, you have followed this. You've been a part of the process for so many years. What do you just make of the whole thing tonight?
You know, I love local politics, state politics. I love them on the national level.
You were at the convention earlier.
I was at the convention this year. Had a great time, and get to follow a great senator, Senator Adam Lowe, my dear friend. Was just on with you. Jimmy, thank you so much for what you do. And one thing that stands out to me when it comes to election night, we never get through a session of Mix election coverage without Jimmy thanking every candidate and giving them a sincere thank you for having the courage to step up and put their name on a ballot. And there's a lot of ways to serve, but our elected offices are one of those important arenas. And for anybody to step up and put their name on a ballot, I think takes incredible courage. And I really appreciate all those that have done that. Congratulate our winners tonight. But for those that didn't win, it's not in vain, because that's a part of the republic we live in, and I'm so grateful to live in this nation in a world where we get to go out and elect and choose our elected officials in what we hope are fair elections.
But George, what is it that keeps people from participating? Do they think they don't have a voice, realistically?
I think it's the environment today, Jimmy. It can be such a nasty environment. When you put your name on a ballot, you put, in some ways, your reputation, your family's reputation on a line, you know, and on the line. And we see campaigns where it gets ripped to shreds, and a lot of people make a conscious choice to say, you know, I'll take on that risk because what I'm able to give is much more important and greater than my reputation or whatever the case may be. But I do think it's the division within our country that keeps people from wanting to do that. And hopefully we can have a much more civil discourse moving forward in our country.
That's absolutely correct, and that's my hope and prayer, and I think it is the hope of everyone. And the particular party identification has become so compelling within the states across the nation, with only, 7 states that we really think are in contest about it. That divisiveness that's out there, I remember when Bradley County had 6 county commissioners who were Democrats.
Sure, and you know, even in our state legislature today, my Republican Party holds a supermajority. I'm thrilled with that. But if we continue the division and we don't listen, we're going to see that trickle away eventually. You know, we have to stand firm behind our ideas and our beliefs and our way of life, but we have to have civil discussion. And if we don't do that, you will see generationally things flip one way to the other, and that supermajority may not hold forever.
And I don't think it will, but it's going to be several years. But my call to us is, let's vote based on reason rather than emotion.
Oh, absolutely.
I tell people all the time that I think George H.W. Bush was one of the finest. He was absolutely, without question, one of the most well-qualified people to serve as president in the various positions. But yet he cut his own throat because no new taxes.
That was the one sentence at convention that cost him re-election.
It cost him re-election. But what did he have the integrity to do before that last year in office?
Right.
He said, we need more revenue in our government.
Yeah,
and he lost that election, in my opinion, because of that. The Democrats took office, Congress and everything, and what happened? Bill Clinton and the Democrats said we need even more revenue. And guess what happened? We get Newt Gingrich to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Right.
But that's, to me, we saw 2 people. For sure. Certainly Clinton had his other issues, but we saw 2 people who took a position to their own detriment or their political party's detriment as they saw it.
Oh, absolutely. I think both of those presidents stood behind their own convictions. I really do. I think when you're, Bush on the read my lips, I think his heart was in the right place. You know, did he have to raise taxes to help the bottom line? I'm a business owner. Not always. There's other ways to get around that. So I would have argued differently, but some people believe that was the right approach. But he said it. He raised taxes. That stuck in the media, and he lost an election.
But we began to be a balanced budget, and we began to reduce the deficit.
We did.
And everybody prospered.
Sure.
So the question of whether or not we provide adequate funds to operate a government which is fair and just to all of us is a big question. Some of us got a huge tax break when Donald Trump said 2 months after he's elected, I've created the greatest economy this nation has ever seen. Do you ever think that direction of government was changed in 2 months when a president takes over? We don't believe that intellectually, do we?
Say again now?
Do you think that the government was changed and the economy was changed when from the Great Recession it had been going downhill, and thereafter it goes uphill.
Well, I think as we took the tax cuts, I think as a small business owner, I reaped the benefits of that. I think people began to spend more money, and I think the overall impact in the economy was positive.
When?
Once the tax cuts went into effect.
Those are positions that I understand each of us individually to oftentimes want. We want more money for our family. But then the question of what's in the greater good arises thereafter. So that's just a difference in opinion. But my approach,
and sure, and as a small
people.
business owner in the insurance sector, I'll be honest with you, Jimmy. I tell people often, I would be better off financially, personally, voting Democrat, because when Democrats have been elected, I generally see insurance premiums rise, which brings in more revenue to my agency. We've seen that the last 4 years tremendously.
Well, George Gray does a great job, as does Steve Shelton, and we need to move on to something else.
All right. George, great seeing you, bud.
Great seeing you guys. And Jimmy, thank you. Good discussion.
Thank you for what you do, especially at the Boys and Girls Clubs. We had our representatives here the other
You
day.
did, and I appreciate you. Throwing out the Boys and Girls Club. What a great organization! It's been my honor to serve them for the last 14, 15 years. I grew up in the club, as you know, Steve, and wouldn't have had a chance in life if it hadn't been for the club.
Yes. Our buddy George Gray. Thank you, George. Allstate Insurance. All right, we're going to take a quick break right here, and when we come back. We're going to come back with maybe some more numbers. Also, I believe we're going to have a candidate interview in just a moment also, so stand by for that. Mix 1041, mixtv.tv. It is 22 minutes before 9. Early votes are in. We'll review those again for you. Hey, you can go to our website also, see all the results at mymix1041.com. And we're waiting. I don't believe we have any precinct numbers as of yet. Our decision desk is back there starting to get some of those in, we understand. But we are back in just a moment.
I'm those fries you've been craving. I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow. So get Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Keith Street, 479-5431.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Vendor Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Vendor Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Vendor Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, vendor-realty.com.
Volunteer Ritapest makes it easy to have a pest-free home with their risk-free money-back guarantee. If you've seen one, you haven't seen them all. Let Volunteer Ritapest handle it, the best in the industry. Call Chattanooga's oldest and family-owned full-service pest control company today.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with a better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing, and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today. Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Sun Paper, conveniently located in historic downtown Cleveland, a local family-owned business specializing in restaurant hospitality and janitorial supplies. They carry tons of items for your restaurant, food truck, school, coffee shop, church, or office. Sun Paper also has items for your home, including disposable plates, cups, and cutlery at very competitive prices. New this year, they brought in a full line of premium chef knives. Follow Sun Paper on Facebook for a chance to win a 7-piece chef knife set with case. No purchase necessary. Sun Paper, 393 Broad Street, downtown Cleveland, open to the public and delivery available.
Choices matter. Please buckle up, put your phone down, and drive sober. Join the movement, the 24/7 movement, and help us create positive change.
Our legal system is complex, and your case may impact several areas of the law. Don't just hire a lawyer who focuses on one thing. Hire a team of experienced attorneys ready to handle your case wherever it may lead. Call Logan Thompson, one of the area's most respected law firms. From personal injury to criminal and family law, from contract disputes to disability, the team at Logan Thompson will work together to ensure you are well represented and well compensated. Logan Thompson, we fight to win.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Hi, I'm Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home of Cleveland. Here's some video testimonials of families who recently served to tell you about their experiences at Poole Funeral Home.
I'd like to take time to thank Brian Poole and the staff at Poole Funeral Homes for the recent services that they conducted for my mother. Her death was a very stressful time for my family, and the staff went above and beyond the compassion and the kindness that they provided for me and my family. Thank you so much again, Brian. We really appreciate you and all the work of your team.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
For more than 50 years, Cleveland Plywood Company has been serving our community. They're dedicating to providing quality products with professional service to all of Cleveland and our surrounding area. They offer easy pickup or delivery on everything in stock. Cleveland Plywood carries every element of the building process, including windows, doors, truss, flooring materials, shingles, and of course, building lumber. Stop by and visit them. Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street, Northeast in Cleveland, or call 472-3357.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
It is election night. Good evening to all of you, and welcome. We're on Mix 1041 Radio, also MixTV.tv. We have early votes in. We're beginning, I'm told by our decision desk, that we're beginning to get some precincts in here tonight at the present time. In Ray County, you understand we have a race there. Ron Travis leading Richard Smith in Ray County, 492 to 213. That's the big race there. Somebody said do we have a candidate on the phone? I understand.
Dan Moore.
Please, yes. Let's. We understand we're going to be joined by new at-large City Councilman Dan Moore on the phone. There he is. Okay, we are having an issue, it appears, so we'll try to get that worked out. Understand we're going to be joined by, here at any moment, by Dan Moore. It looks like, we have actually called this one in the, there you see it if you're watching MixTV.tv, that we have called Dan Moore as the new at-large city councilman. Dan, of course, grew up here in Cleveland, and the son of Joe and Janie Moore and grandson of the late, great Ben Moore. Dan, can you hear me?
I got you, Steve.
Dan Moore.
About 8% on my battery, so just FYI, I am downtown Cleveland with my friends and family at Mash and Hops, and Joe Moore just popped a big bottle of champagne. So, and let me just say before we go any further, Jimmy Logan, I've gotten about 12 texts that say I'm getting you a kitten.
Oh yeah. Jimmy told the kitten story with you and said,
Right.
Dan, hey buddy, how are you feeling tonight? You have, of course, you've won this election in the Cleveland City Council at large. What's it mean to you to join the City Council?
It's huge, Steve. I love the city of Cleveland, and honestly, how do I feel tonight? I am whooped. I have been to every precinct all day, and I've had some wonderful volunteers, including my family, friends, just people willing to do stuff for you, and it just means the world. But I'm just so excited to contribute to the town I love, in all honesty, man.
Hey, Dan, Jim Logan. Congratulations, of course, from Cindy and I, because we have such fond memories of you as a youngster, being a neighbor to us. And I don't know if you heard the story I repeated about the blanket and the kitten.
Yes, sir. I did not. But maybe you didn't hear me. I told Steve I have gotten I've been inundated with texts of, Dan, we're getting you a kitten. That was the quickest story I've ever heard. And it made my day. And, of course, my mind immediately went to the classic Jimmy Logan and Cindy Logan story that they tell about me. And next time I'm campaigning, I'm going to need you to go out and tell that story everywhere.
Well, you probably ought to get somebody else to tell the story and make up the people who are involved in it. But I want you to know.
No, Jimmy, I loved y'all. Fond memories of y'all as neighbors as a kid. Seriously, y'all are good people.
Well, and you're a good person, and you have had things which have come up in your life, and you've met them with love and concern, and I know that.
I have.
And I know you will take that state of mind to the issues which our city confronts. And
I hit everything head on, Jimmy. You know me.
I know you. I know you well. And the fact is you're going to make decisions and you're going to contribute to the betterment of our community. And there are lots of needs we have, as you know. But
yes, sir.
We are blessed, and we are blessed to have you and your lovely bride as a part of our community.
I couldn't have done this without her. She has listened to me stress at night, think about stuff, worry, put up signs. She's out there waving signs with my son Ben all day today.
Yep.
Oh Lord, it's just been a long road, but it's been fun.
You
and
got
I'm
people
so
calling me and
Cleveland.
asking where you are and how you're going all night tonight. We've been asking. You're very much loved, and as you know, your opponent's a good man too. He's a good and decent human being. And
yes, sir.
We appreciate you, and thanks so much for offering yourself as a candidate.
Hey, Dan, earlier tonight, someone made a comment, maybe Jimmy, that you're the first Moore, maybe it's Shelton, to serve in politics. And I said that it's because your dad couldn't get elected for dog catcher because he's so negative and he's mean. I was on the treadmill at the Y one time. He came up and punched me in the kidney. So, what are you going to do? But how about your mom, Janie Moore? My goodness, you kidding me?
Hey, I mean, I could not be more blessed with both of them.
No, I love your dad.
She showed up at the senior center at 8:30, started waving signs, and by golly, she would still be there if I didn't tell her the polls were closed. I mean, she's one of my top. She's my biggest fan, man.
Yeah. Dan, thank you so much. Hey, congratulations, buddy. Cleveland City Council at large. Dan Moore, really our first local call tonight, Shelton, is Dan Moore. Dan, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Steve, just getting some early numbers again. 5.6% of the county turned out for early voting. And that's just it's sad. It's a sad deal that a lot of people have lost their lives for the ability for us to be able to vote. But Emily Beatty gave us some numbers about State Rep District 31. Ron Travis, this is early voting. Ron Travis 1,751. Richard Smith 762. So looks like Mr. Travis will hang on to that seat, District 31 State Rep seat over there in Ray County and Sequatchie County.
All right. We are heading toward the 9 o'clock hour, about 9 till 9. We expect that it would be, looking at everything and this election, that we would have some more numbers coming in at any moment, and we would be able to start making some more calls, Jimmy.
Well, I believe, Steve, as we've seen thus far, at least in the precincts which I've reported today, and we've got a few precincts in, it does appear that the vote totals, and I'm a bit surprised, as Shelton was saying a while ago, it looks like that the trend is going to be pretty much the same as the early voting shows.
It's very, very interesting as always, and of course a lot of those trends have held, especially when early voting was introduced some 20, 24 years ago, something like that. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take another break right here. By the way, I really appreciate our team that is helping us at our in the back and in our decision desk. We've got Ashlyn Akiona back there helping. We've got Josh Laco, who's helping back there. We have a couple other folks. Madison's here, I know. Who is it?
What's it?
Madison McNabb is here helping us.
And who's that other guy?
And that Austin Chadwick. He's
and then
he's directing the broadcast.
What's the guy back there who's writing these notes for you that you I don't see?
Are we supposed to say that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Commissioner Rogers. He's writing notes. All right, and of course here in our studio, Ryan Felton, Gideon Ratcliffe, in our studio tonight. We're going to take another break. Mix 104.1 and MixTV.tv 7 before 9. So we should be getting, like I said, some more numbers from today, actually. So looking forward to that. We're back in a moment.
Those fries you've been craving. I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow. So get Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Key Street, 479-5431.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Bender Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Bender Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Bender Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, bender-realty.com.
Have you been the victim of drive-by pest control? That's when your pest control company comes to your home with no appointment, treats a little around the outside, and then charges you for it. We know you deserve better. When you do business with us, we will call and set an appointment. We will arrive on time. We will perform a thorough treatment, and if you're not 100% happy, you don't have to pay a penny. So don't put up with drive-by pest control. Call the local guys. We've been serving the greater Chattanooga area since 1970. Call 698-7205 or go to volpest.com.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with the better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today, Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Sun Paper, conveniently located in historic downtown Cleveland, a local family-owned business specializing in restaurant hospitality and janitorial supplies. They carry tons of items for your restaurant, food truck, school, coffee shop, church, or office. Sun Paper also has items for your home, including disposable plates, cups, and cutlery at very competitive prices. New this year, they brought in a full line of premium chef knives. Follow Sun Paper on Facebook for a chance to win a 7-piece chef knife set with case. No purchase necessary. Sun Paper, 393 Broad Street, downtown Cleveland, open to the public and delivery available.
Choices matter. Please buckle up, put your phone down, and drive sober. Join the movement, the 24/7 movement, and help us create positive change.
Our legal system is complex, and your case may impact several areas of the law. Don't just hire a lawyer who focuses on one thing. Hire a team of experienced attorneys ready to handle your case wherever it may lead. Call Logan Thompson, one of the area's most respected law firms. From personal injury to criminal and family law, from contract disputes to disability, the team at Logan Thompson will work together to ensure you are well represented and well compensated. Logan Thompson, we fight to win.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Hi, I'm Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home of Cleveland. Here's some video testimonials of families who recently served to tell you about their experiences at Poole Funeral Home.
Hi, I'm Chuck Marvin. Years ago, we lost my mom and she wanted to be cremated. We got her cremains back in a box like this. Just recently, we lost my wife and used Poole Funeral Home and Crematory, and she came back in a box like this. Now I asked you, which one says Diggins?
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
Welcome back, everyone, as we're 2 minutes before 9, Mix 1041, if you're listening on the radio. That's Mix 1041 WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens. And we're on MixTV.tv. And a big shout out to Mars Wrigley for the wonderful M&Ms. Thank you very much. They keep us stocked over here. And that kind of gave me a little perk, and we're ready to go here. All right, let me go back over the early voting. This is really the only numbers we have, although I was told by our director, Austin Chadwick, that we are beginning to get day of numbers. But at this point, we are still getting those in and processing those. But as of this hour, as we go into the 9 o'clock hour now, the incumbent, Kevin Raper, has a lead over the challenger, Troy Weathers. This is in State House District 24. You see it if you're watching it tonight. About 58% of the vote for Raper after early voting. And, okay, these are a little different numbers, guys, than what I have here. So we may be getting some.
We are there. Yeah, we have seven precincts in so far. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, yeah. So we're seven showing.
Okay. All right. So this is including 7 precincts, you're saying. Okay. So, so those numbers have obviously changed. 1,774 for Raper, Weathers at 1,281. So this takes on another importance here, another meaning. All right, you see on the Democratic side, and those numbers are now changing. So just like we say, those numbers, as I say them, are changing because what's happening. So let me tell you what's happening here. They're putting those numbers in real time at our decision desk in another part of our building. And so you're watching this or listening to this in real time. Those numbers just jumped. Raper now has a lead of about 500, 1,803 to Weathers, 1,310. Now the Democratic side, Grabowski leads Herter 81 to 53. Let's keep trucking there. Do we have any more in? Let's go to the City Council, District 5, Austin, if we can. That is a competitive race there. Yes, we have had a change. Dwayne Goff has added some votes, and so has Mark Gravel. Goff at 408, Gravel 311, Jones 76. Sheldon.
E.L. Ross is the only, CHS, Cleveland High is the only precinct not reporting yet on this. That will be really the what's left to decide this race. So if you go back and break this one down by precinct, at Stewart, Goff had 38, Gravel had 25, Jones had 10. At E.L. Ross, Goff actually loses by 1 vote. Goff 150, Gravel 151, Jones 42. So CHS now is the only one that's still outstanding.
And we have the Cleveland High School precinct returns in. They were posted on outside the door, and one of our assistants has that, and they're going to put that together. It looks like that the golf race and that looks like it's going to track the results that we've got so far, as does the representatives race. Looks like it's about the same. But the turnout at Cleveland High School, which used to be such a huge turnout, so dismal.
Absolutely. Cleveland City Council at large, we've already called this. Dan Moore with a big win here over Warbrit Russell Lowry. Dan Moore replaces Avery Johnson, who retired vice mayor. So, take me back there, if you will, if that's changed, and it may have. Raper now has added looks like a few votes since we looked last. 1803, Weathers 1310. That's about 58% for Raper, and Weathers at about 42%, Jimmy Logan.
500 votes, is that the way you've got it there?
Yep.
And so 500 votes, it tells us something. The difference of 241 with the, assuming that it's about 80% of the people who also were candidates previously, it looks like that the difference is going to be there, Steve.
Some state races that I know Jimmy probably is going to be a little interested in. You were speaking about education and what direction that's going to go. District 4 State Senate, this is the Bristol-Kingsport area. Bobby Harshbarger is now leading the incumbent John Lundberg, who is the Senate Education Chairman, who is pro-school voucher. The PACs have spent over $1 million in this race against Lundberg, who now trails 6,512 votes to 4,876 votes.
And we were just talking about the Nicely race, a long-time member of the state legislature, and he looks to be being defeated. And he was a pro school choice, not a pro school choice, but an opponent to the school choice legislation. So fascinating. 2 different locations, 2 different apparent results, Steve, based on your analysis of the one that you just reported to us.
Numbers beginning to come in pretty fast and furious as we've gone into the 9 o'clock hour. 17 Bradley County precincts. Do we know how many precincts that we have in? I heard 7. Are there more than that now?
8.
We're at 8 now.
With Cleveland High School.
With Cleveland High School. So they are checking those. That's going to be a big, going to make a big difference, obviously, or be a big telltale sign, as Shelton said, in that Cleveland City Council District 5.
Yeah, we're waiting on one to decide the District 5 seat, and then with E.L. Ross, and now we're waiting on E.L. Ross and the Senior Center to finish up to call the Kevin Raper, Troy Weathers.
Okay.
Those are 5 precincts right now in terms of in-house.
Okay.
We're showing numbers for 5.
We have eight total, 5 showing right now on our screens. We're still putting them in.
Okay, so 8 total are in to the Bradley County Election Commission. You are seeing or listening to 5. So it takes a while, folks, obviously, to put this in, and really they're doing a great job back there. So if you're watching us, that is 5 precincts in and early.
Yes,
as we always say. Raper at 1,803. Troy Weathers at 1,310. Raper, of course, the incumbent in District 24. and that is there. Hey, Austin, we go back to that city council race, District 5. There we go. So you see, they're saying we're waiting on Cleveland High School for this. Dwayne Goff at 4:08, Mark Gravel at 3:11, and Daniel F. Jones at 76. So that's a 51% for Goff. Gravel 39%. That's less than 100 votes. So you think about the Cleveland High School precinct. Maybe how many people showed up today. It's going to make a big difference. Daniel Jones, as you see, with 76 total votes. So, Shelton, you and I said privately on the phone today, we knew publicly what we've talked about here. Low turnout, low turnout.
Yeah, I know. We always have our guessing game that we play the week of, and I thought that the city and the county would come together and get us to 10,000. I don't think we're going to be close.
I don't remember the last time that we were under 10,000. I'd say
I went back in the archives as far as I could on a state and county general, or a state primary and county general, and could not find in the archives. But it doesn't go back, into the 90s. But it has been a long time since we've not reached the 10,000 vote mark.
Absolutely, as we are continuing to get numbers in here, and we. At this point, early voting is tracking. I would say, or maybe the day of voting is tracking along with early at this point. So we are right now, Jimmy, looking at these patterns and beginning, maybe to see a pattern here at this point.
No question about it. Mayor Rowland just texted me, and he said in the old days we'd already called this whole election.
He would have called it at 5 o'clock.
Well, and he would have been correct most of the time.
Probably
yes,
so.
That's for sure. It's fascinating, though, as we were talking to George Gray and to others, those of you who are listening to us, let's try to participate more, and especially casting your votes after you've studied what should happen. I think that
come on in, yeah.
Hey,
Troy Weathers joining us. He is right here, State Representative, District 24 challenger. Troy, good evening.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. I was trying to say ladies and gentlemen, but there's no ladies.
Yeah.
Well, your wife is. What are you talking about?
Correct that.
If you want to, we'll just look at her and you can go ahead and talk.
Well, Troy, I understand there's some things you'd like to say here this evening.
Yes, I'm coming here to concede. So, though, I want to congratulate Mr. Raper on a good, hard race. It makes it interesting. I want to thank all the folks that voted for me. It was a great 4 months of campaigning. Talked to a lot of people, met a lot of folks, good people in Cleveland, Tennessee. Disappointed on the percentage of people who voted, though. I mean, we've got to find the answer there. Guys, I'm just telling you, because really it's a shame, and people are not going to run for office when you go out there and you talk to thousands of people, and thousands of people don't vote.
Well, you've got the proof in the pudding that you were out there working hard, knocking on doors and things. The color of your skin, you show the redness and even a developing tan. How about that?
Yes, it certainly has come around. But let me also thank all the folks that helped me. I had guys working polls today and knocking on doors with me, and you can't do it by yourself. I don't care what campaign you work on, okay? You depend on those kind of folks. The radio station, I thought, done a great job for my campaign. A lot of people heard the message. The message went out there. It just didn't. It didn't motivate. I don't know how you motivate people, but I'm thrilled that I was a part of it. I'm honored that I'm a part of it. I love Cleveland, Tennessee. I always have. I always will. Didn't change nothing. Okay. I hope all things go well for Mr. Raper in Nashville, and we get some great things accomplished and move our state in the right direction.
Well, Troy, you've always been a friend of education. That's been your primary role, I think, in many, many instances, to do what you could to support education and to cause the county commission to maybe do some of the things that we know needed to be done. Education is going to be a big issue in the legislature, isn't it?
Education's a very big issue, but I'm going to share some information that was put out today. The kids are under the voucher program in Memphis and Nashville. Test scores aren't very good. They're worse than public education. So I'm hoping the governor will back off the voucher deal, and let's try to just improve education for all kids.
Well, that's certainly the goal that those of us who've got a few years of having been educated in this system, and what a great system our education we've had over the years, we've got to do some things to enhance the quality of our education. I've asked for the County Commission to make some adjustments, perhaps a new chemistry lab, a technology lab, and those kinds of things at some of the facilities where we don't have that up-to-date chemistry department and technology department. So, Troy, you don't lose anything by fighting for kids, for children.
Not. Absolutely not. Well, we've got two great school systems. Let me just tell you, we're very blessed. We don't see what happens across the state, but we are very fortunate to have what we have in Cleveland and Bradley County, and I'm proud of it, proud to be a part of it, and proud to be a part of it the last 20 years. It has made a difference for our kids, and that's all it's about.
Troy Weathers, thank you for your contribution and for what you've done in running and making yourself a part of the process. We really appreciate it.
Well, I've enjoyed it. Thank you, and I want to thank my wife.
Absolutely.
That's a tough thing to do.
Well, thank you for making her come out here so we could see she's got a smile on her face, and I bet it's because you're not going to be knocking on doors every day.
You're exactly right.
Or her either. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we've
Good
got a couple of calls to make now and to make some things official. And as you just heard, Troy Weathers conceding the race, but now Kevin Raper officially will return to the State House of Representatives, District 24. We are prepared to call this now, as Raper, the incumbent, will return. We have another call to make just in, and that is going to be in that District 5 Cleveland City Council race, where Dwayne Goff will join the Cleveland City Council in District 5, the seat held by his longtime friend and one of his mentors, Dale R. Hughes, as Dwayne Goff is now a city councilman in District 5. He defeats a man who ran a great race, and Mark Gravel. Mark, as you see, very tight here, 506 to 423. And, of course, we got to know a very nice man and a Bradley basketball athlete, Daniel Jones, also a great educator in his own right. These are three wonderful guys, and that's what you want. But it is Dwayne Goff, actually, as we correct the graphic there, at 506, Mark Gravel at 423, and Daniel Jones at 97. Stephen Schell.
Yeah, I think this was one of the cleanest races that I've seen. Both these guys, all three of these gentlemen, good guys. And Mr. Jones, a former educator, as you said, all of them got out, all of them knocked on doors, all of them worked hard. I will say I'll agree with Troy completely. It's amazing that you knock on thousands of doors, you spend thousands of dollars, and you're looking at 1,000 votes. And that's just the time and effort that these individuals put in, men and women across this county and city, to run for this office. But Dwayne and Mark and Dan, I would not be surprised in this next election cycle, when there's another open seat on this city council coming up, that Mark Gravel maybe run for an at-large bid here, because I mean his desire to serve is pretty strong. So I could see that both these gentlemen, all these three, would have served this city well, but that was a tight race, and what I would think is a very, very a good race run by all three.
And let me say, Steve, the City Council has to fill various groups of people who are working for the various boards that they get appointed to and things of that nature. And there's no question about it. Those three individuals, congratulations to Mr. Goff. He comes from good folks, and God bless him for marrying Lavoy Jones's daughter.
That's right.
That's
right.
I think that may have
Lavoy
been
will be his press secretary immediately. I guarantee you
about it. But I think that those people have shown the interest in government And a lot of folks are retiring from the various commissions
Yeah,
and boards that we have, and we've got a stable of people who can really continue to contribute to this community.
It's a generational change, and we're beginning to see that in local government. So to recap a little bit here, Kevin Raper returns to the State House of Representatives in District 24. He turns back the challenge of Troy Weathers. You see those numbers. And we've made the call, and of course, Troy's conceded. But how many precincts do we know are those including?
The big one we're still waiting on is Walker Valley. That's going to decide that contested race in Charleston. So we don't have any numbers from Walker Valley.
Do we? Yeah, and I tell you, I'd love to revisit that, and just to remind everybody where the Charleston race is, that's 8 in. So we're
four left. They've just told me from the back we have 4 left. They're punching the numbers in.
So it's 13, really.
So we have 13 in and four left to go.
Okay. But we have made the calls tonight based on Senior Center, Walker Valley, Prospect, and Oak Grove are still out. All right. So that's where we're at. But we made the calls here. Raper returns. Also, Dwayne Goff joins the Cleveland City Council, as does Dan Moore. As we look at these local races, Jimmy, and
yes, and that Charleston race with Walker Valley, that's where all the votes are. So that very interesting race. We had the early vote, and we were showing that. But the story will be told when the Walker Valley is reported.
All right, we're going to take a break right here. Let's take another break, and we'll stay on the air and continue. I believe we're going to have some more interviews to bring you. It is election night, and it looks like the contested races here locally, most of them we have called not Charleston, though, and that's something to keep an eye on. Our friends in Charleston who are definitely in tune here tonight, and we're going to be following that for you. So anyway, stay with us here. Mix 104.1, MixTV.tv. We're back in a moment.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
For more than 50 years, Cleveland Plywood Company has been serving our community. They're dedicating to providing quality products with professional service to all of Cleveland and our surrounding area. They offer easy pickup or delivery on everything in stock. Cleveland Plywood carries every element of the building process, including windows, doors, truss, flooring materials, shingles, and of course, building lumber. Stop by and visit them. Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street, Northeast in Cleveland, or call 472-3357.
How those fries you've been craving. I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow. So get Allstate.
Call or visit the George Gray Allstate Insurance Office on Keith Street, 479-5431.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Vendor Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Vendor Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Vendor Realty, 420 225 25th Street, 423-472-2173, bender-realty.com.
Volunteer Ridipest makes it easy to have a pest-free home with their risk-free money-back guarantee. If you've seen one, you haven't seen them all. Let Volunteer Ridipest handle it, the best in the industry. Call Chattanooga's oldest and family-owned full-service pest control company today.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with a better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today. Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
A 65-year tradition, election night coverage on Mix 1041, WCLE, and MixTV.tv. Presented by the Logan Thompson Law Firm.
Good evening and welcome back here. It is 23 minutes after 9, election night. And at this point, most of the races that we have been following locally have now been called. We are still waiting on some precincts, although that Charleston Commission race we are still waiting on. I did get a text message from a longtime friend, Steve Bevins, and your friend, apparently a fellow graduate.
We were. Steve could throw a baseball when we had those baseball tournaments. He threw the baseball because, of course, the distance was very short. And he could step on your toe and let go of the ball.
You're saying he was tall.
He was tall, Steve.
Steve, a former
man.
Oh, absolutely, Steve, a former state representative, but also he was. He says, "Hey," he says, "quote, hey Steve, you can't call it too early. I won a school board race by 2 votes once." And he did a tight one.
And what a great school board we had when Steve served on that school board. Walter Presswood and a number of other, just a wonderful school board. And Steve is, he's got those boys, and they took over the business of being lobbyists.
All right.
Yeah, Steve
is that
was
right?
so successful.
As he was.
There, and his sons and one of their wives are great people.
We have brand new city councilman from the 5th District, Dwayne Goff, on the phone. Dwayne, good evening. Dwayne, can you hear me?
We must be having... Oh, there he is. Hey, Dwayne.
Hello. Hey, this is Dwayne.
Dwayne, Steve Hartline, Jimmy Logan. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you so much, Steve and Jimmy. Very excited tonight.
How are you feeling about your win and joining the city council? And as I said when we called it, you are replacing one of your mentors, Dale Hughes.
Yes, I sure am. I tell you what, it's extremely humbling. I always pray that the Lord never promotes me above my ability or beyond what my integrity or character can handle. And so tonight I'm just extremely humbled and honored to go take this role after a mentor, Dale Hughes, and kind of pick up the torch as the next city councilman for District 5 in Cleveland. It's really been a wonderful journey. Met a lot of wonderful people in Cleveland, and we just love this city, and I'm excited to go to work to see what we can do together to make sure Cleveland has a bright future.
Well, Dwayne, you're going to do a great job. Jim Logan here, and I understand that you give a great deal of credit for the support that you had arising from LaVoy Jones, and you have some relationship to LaVoy and his wonderful bride, do you not?
I do. I have been blessed with amazing in-laws, and for those that know LaVoy Jones, he is the best. And so we've had a wonderful relationship. It only took me 24 years of marriage to get his endorsement, but we're finally making it this week.
That's great. LaVoy was my campaign manager when I ran for president of the freshman class at the University of Tennessee.
Really?
Yes. And we changed the way university governance. We did not win, but we were able to develop a union with one of the minority parties, and LaVoy Jones actually changed student governance at the University of Tennessee. How about that?
Wow. Well, it doesn't surprise me these days. I've been in the family for 2.5 decades, and still hear new stories very often about all the LaVoy adventures over the years, whether it be pre, during, or post-war years.
Yes.
Nothing surprised me when it comes to LaVoy Jones.
That's right. But, Dwayne, you've been an exceptional member of our community, and you do acknowledge, and you have, I think, in some of the appearances you've made, you had a very able and good fellow running in opposition to you. He ran a good race, did he not?
Yes, completely agree with you. I spoke with Mark Gravel and Daniel Jones multiple times, I believe, and they both ran a great race. I'm very proud of the race that we all ran. I feel like we kept it clean, that we all worked hard, that we were all working for the people of Cleveland instead of working against each other, and that's the way a race should be. I'm obviously extremely humbled that people went out and they pressed my last name and put their trust and vote behind me tonight. But those guys are excellent members of our community, and I hope that I can help share in some of the visions that they have to make this community better going forward.
Well, we're counting on you, that's for sure, and thank you so much for offering yourself as a candidate. That's a very difficult decision for some people to make, and you offered yourself as a candidate, and you put a good foot forward, and we expect the same tomorrow and the next year and the next year in your service to our community. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. I'm ready to get to work, and I appreciate everyone that's done so much with this process. I've learned a lot. I've listened a lot, and I'm excited to do what I can to work with those in office and all the people in the community to do great things for Cleveland. And I've got to say, my family's been a great support along the way, but my wife, Candace Goff, has been just a rock the whole way and has been by my side the whole time, and so I've got to tell her thank you so much for that. I would not have went down this road without her.
Take care, Dwayne. Have a great evening.
Congratulations, Dwayne.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. I want to correct something that I said, and I apologize. I made a mistake. Imagine that. Andrea Chase will be the Democrat. Kevin Raper is not returning to Nashville just yet. There is a general election that will happen in November, and Andrea Chase, and I apologize. Look, it was my fault for saying it. There is a general election in November. It will be Andrea Chase, who is obviously doing a wonderful work at the Solomon Family Solutions, and we've had her in here, so I apologize. She will take on Kevin Raper. It will happen now, is the general election in November. Speaking of Kevin Raper, I understand we have Kevin on the line right now, the incumbent state representative who had a primary win tonight. Representative Raper, do we have you on the line?
You do, yes, sir.
Hey, Representative Kevin Raper, congratulations on your primary win tonight.
Thank you very much. I am so honored and blessed.
Yeah, what do you think it was, Kevin, that maybe pulled you ahead here at the end? Stephen Shelton was in earlier and talked about. He said he felt like you finished the campaign strong. What was that?
I think it was a mixture of things. Obviously, I couldn't work hard earlier because we were in session. So we began to turn on a lot more steam. The next thing is our campaign. We tried to get it to where closed hard at the end, and we did a number of things from online things to targeting in just multiple ways to get our name out there. And of course, we knocked on numbers of doors and just got our message out, and ultimately the voters put their trust in me, and I'm just so greatly appreciative.
Well, Kevin, you are dedicated to doing what's best for the people of Bradley County and your district, throughout your district. You also are greatly respected in Nashville, and that counts a lot, I think. I hope you heard Troy Weathers concede, perhaps you did, and he said good things about you and that he would be supportive of your work in the legislature. I thought that was gracious of Troy. And no question, you folks had a battle, a real strong campaign. Please don't give any credit to the mayor of the city of Cleveland, if you will avoid that. What's his name? I've forgotten.
Since you said that, Mr. Logan, I'm not even going to go there about Mayor Brooks, is it?
Well, we all enjoy Kevin Brooks, and there's no question but that he was committed to you, and taking a picture with him was really something, I know. But anyway, Kevin, thank you for your service, and thank you for, again, offering yourself as a candidate. And you've got some pretty good supporters behind you. I know a couple of young men, and you're big orange all the way, aren't you?
Yes, sir. With sons named Nealon and Manning, I don't believe I have any other choice.
Well, your work at First Baptist Church is also quite a testament as well. Thank you for your service to our community, and thank you for offering yourself again for re-election.
Thank you so much, Mr. Logan. And you mentioned First Baptist. I'm just going to tell you, I am so blessed to be at that church, and there are lots of great churches in the community, but that just seems to be the one that has resonated with my family, and we are very blessed each Sunday to go.
Well, it doesn't hurt for you to bring your wife with you, does it?
Let me tell you, I married way up and outpunted my coverage there, and really, I've been told by several people she ought to be running instead of me.
Well, she's certainly prettier than you and I are when we put our heads together. But anyway,
that is true, Mr. Logan.
Take care, Kevin.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations.
I want to say thank you again to everyone that supported me and all the people that voted for me. I'm just so honored and grateful that they sent me back to Nashville. And thank you for WCLE and your coverage, and allowed me to speak on the air this morning. I'm just grateful to everyone. And I'll finish by saying this. This is non-political related, but thank you for allowing me to be on the football panel.
There we go, the Bradley. The Bradley football panel with Eddie Cartwright and Bob Hanshaw as a host, and you and Scott Kress, String. Yeah. That's the oldest show in Bradley County radio. You know that?
Yes, and Kent Copeland.
Kent Copeland, that's right. Don't forget Kent,
yeah,
Lord.
That's right.
Because Kent's probably been there since the beginning, 100 years ago, so we can't forget Kent. But
I think he's going on about 100 years now.
He's fixed my phone a few times. I can't say that. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Congratulations. We do have...
Thank you. I'll have a...
yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on now. We have a call here now for Charles. This is really our final call of the night, and it looks as if David Lattimore and Donna McDermott, Jimmy, are going to return to the Lattimore is joining the Charleston City Commission, and now Donna McDermott, who's the mayor of Charleston, they are the top two vote getters. So
that's in that two-person. And the incumbent. It's a fascinating thing. Did you say she was on the phone?
Well, no, we've got apparently Stanley Thompson's on the line, so we'll talk to Stanley in just a second. But Charleston City Commission, once again, Lattimore. Shelton told you about him earlier. Longtime Bowater employee, and also on the board of Bowater Employees Credit Union. And Donna McDermott, the mayor. 76 votes for Lattimore, 51 votes for McDermott. Now look at that. That's folks' top two. Matthew Wiley, 49. So a pretty tight race. Let's go to the phones and our assessor of property, Stanley Thompson. Stanley, good evening.
Good evening, guys. How are y'all doing?
Well, we're doing good, and
tough race for you, wasn't it, Stanley?
That's the way I like them. That's for sure.
How many years now? How many years have you been unopposed?
Well, you know, the thing that happened with Mr. Yarber.
You know what? That's right. That's my fault.
Other than that, it was since '92.
Since 1992. So. Is that when you started serving?
Yes. Yes. I worked in the office. I started there in '85 with Mr. Doug Elrod.
Yep.
And then I don't know if I was doing the right thing or not when I decided to run. It was like I was the last man on the totem pole in the office that didn't know what he was doing and got talked into running. So,
well, Stanley, your office does a lot more than the assessment of the purposes of your office. A lot of folks get complaining about the assessments and things of that nature. The actual initial assessment process is conducted outside of your office, isn't it?
Well, actually, since say 2012, I pretty well we do our own appraisals. Now we have guidelines set by the state, right. Of Nashville, of course.
Yes.
But I'm kind of at the point now is if someone comes in, I don't blame it on the state. We need to own it. We did it. If we messed it up, then we own it and we need to correct it.
Yes, but you maintain so many other aspects of your office, those plats and things of that nature. That's astonishing.
Oh yes, we've got the GIS, and I'm fortunate that we've been able to continually get updated mapping, and people come in there, they go to other counties and they can't believe what we've got. And very fortunate. It helps us save on driving out to every piece of property. We can see it now. We can measure it. They're that clear. You can measure it on a photo. So it's astonishing. I love it. I love mapping. That's what I started out as, and I just love mapping. So I still do some of those old deeds. I still work on that kind of thing. So,
well, you're one of the most highly acclaimed people in that position across the state. Everybody has a great deal of respect for your accomplishments, and you do things without a lot of applause coming your way. It's just we take you for granted.
Well, that's part of the job, and I'll just keep doing it as long as people will let me, I guess. So.
Well, congratulations, and what a wonderful job your wife is doing, as well as the clerk and master's their office. And thank you for your contributions to our community over the years, Stanley.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.
All right, guys. All right. Keep up the good work.
You got it.
Thank you. Well, Jimmy, at this point, the local races that we've been following are in, and what do you make of this night overall?
Disappointment from the standpoint of the percentage of the eligible voters. Not feeling, I think a lot of people think that they don't make a difference any longer, and we don't have the kind of discussion dealing with the actual issues and the pluses and the minuses. It's the big billboards, the radio ads, and the kind of debates we used to have. We call them forums, but they were truly debates. And sometimes this year, once again, some of the candidates want to just come in and talk to you or go to the chamber and make a statement without the challenge of, what about this issue? Do you not have a different perspective with reference to those things? Now, does that mean that I'm saying that I know much about anything? I do know that the more you know about the issues at hand, the better decision you're going to make with reference to whom you should support. Ads, catchy phrases, things of that nature. I am deeply regret that we no longer have the kinds of open forum in the name of debates, actually, with the challenges. Steve, and I know you've supported those for so many years, and Tom did, and the others have. So maybe I'm wrong to be disappointed about the lack of turnout, the lack of knowledge of what the facts really are and what positions you should take with reference to those things. We've got to be better citizens.
And let me make this comment, and I'm told we're getting a lot of comments about the turnout and the low turnout, and yeah, it's very disappointing, and it really is. However, November, historically, in a presidential election, Bradley County turns out in a big, big way, and that's really what we're expecting here again.
Oh, I think that's right, but we have, I don't think we're going to have the kind of debates across the country as to whether or not we should do certain things about revenue, whether or not we should continue to increase the national debt, and how do we achieve a better, stronger national economy. And our national economy, compared to the rest of the industrialized world, is pretty great, but we can do better. And we need to challenge our leaders not just to listen to how bad one or the other is, but to listen to how we can make things better together.
Let me review. I'm beginning to get some more information. It looks like here. Let me see. I'm told that there's still one precinct out at this point. It's not going to change any of the results, but from a turnout standpoint, it will. The Senior Center is the last precinct this time around. And thanks, Austin. Let me do that. Yeah, let's go to some uncontested seats. We always report what Tom Rowland and Corky Whitlock back in the day called complimentary votes, and here they are. Chuck Fleischman, 3,490 with no opponent in the Republican primary, U.S. House of Representatives District 3. Dan Howell, 1,185 votes in his uncontested race. State House District 22. He will have an opponent in November, as will Fleischman. Jack Allen will oppose Fleischman in November. Stanley Thompson unopposed throughout, and he'll return, as he said earlier, just a second ago, since 1992. 3,809 votes. Stephen Hatchett, who was in here very early in the night, here in our studios. District Attorney General, District 10, 3,769. Jack Allen, Democratic primary in the U.S. House. District 3, and that he got 460 votes in that primary, unopposed. Andrea Chase, 349 votes in her unopposed Democratic race in District 24. And then other local unopposed candidates include Tom Cassada, 403. We said this earlier. David May Jr., 381. Nate Tucker on the city school board. Let's see here, 1,649, and then Carolyn Ingram, 174. Carolyn, a Democrat, and so in the Democratic primary, there, District 2 City School Board. Jimmy.
Steve, the one thing that I have overlooked to do is to keep up with the Hamilton County. We are wedded to Hamilton County in a large extent. Chattanooga, Ooltewah, Cleveland, it's almost, except for the mountain as you go across it. A lot of people from Cleveland work in Hamilton County. A lot of people in Hamilton County work there, and they live here in Cleveland and in Bradley County, and they're interested. Our law practice, we have cases every day involving Cleveland residents who've been involved in some controversy in Hamilton County. So the judgeship race down there was very important. and those are things that we used to keep up with, Steve, and I make an apology for not keeping up with our surrounding communities because my Mix 104.1 reaches all the way into the state of Alabama.
There we go. Let me, hey, Austin, if you will, put up those uncontested one more time. I do want to recognize them. Nancy Kaysen, wonderful, wonderful person. 600, boy, Nancy did a good job this morning. 667 total votes uncontested. Bradley County Board of Education, 1st District, Teddy Bryson, 501. County School Board District 3, Rachel Goins, 197. County School Board District 5, Jeff Lovingood, Right Reverend Lovingood, 524. And, Lovingood, I heard that unopposed, you're unopposed. I heard you barely beat the no candidate. Darren Brantley, County School Board, no, actually, he's a constable. So Brantley is uncontested constable, 674. And Richard Burnett, constable, District 6, 403. And then, of course, the contested races. We have Cleveland City Council, Dwayne Goff over Mark Gravel, 506 to 423, to Daniel Jones, 97 votes. Dwayne Goff, the new city councilman, District 5. And the at-large, Dan Moore, is heading to the city council. Moore with 1,381 to Warbert Lowry's 423. And then, let's see here, we have State Representative District 24, Kevin Raper, advances to that general election, 2,085 over Troy Weathers, 1,589. And Jimmy Logan, let's go over to you.
Well, there's a gentleman on the telephone, I'm understanding it, who had a very tough race, and he beat himself. And District 3 tells you something about Tom Cassida, and I understand that he may be on the line with us. Tom, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here, Jimmy. I appreciate taking the call, Steve, and both Steves on that part. And what y'all do for the city and its election, informing our public. So I thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you for your service, Tom. You this race was a lot better than one you ran at one time, I know. But looks like you've got some really good people coming on to assist in the city council decision-making process.
Yes, yes, sir. We do. I'm looking forward to Councilman Goff and Councilman Moore also in working with them and moving the city forward. So it's going to be two good additions coming on. Now we're going to lose some people with a lot of knowledge. Vice Mayor Avery Johnson and Colonel Del R. Hughes. I enjoyed working with them over the years and learned a lot from them. So it's going to be a little void, but we do have David May, and Bill Estes has been there for a long time. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to working with the new members and working with the city staff and moving the city forward like we're doing. We got so many good projects going on right now. I'm so proud of what we're doing downtown and in other districts for the greenways and those type of things, some new parks coming in. So we've got a lot to look forward to in the city of Cleveland.
Yes, we do. And I was commenting earlier, and you may have heard some of our comments. A couple of three of the, or well, maybe more than that, of the people who offered themselves as candidates ran good races, and you folks have appointments to make all the time. It looks like we've got some people we might call on who have a desire to help our city, and I talked about that because I know that you have to fill a lot of commissions and boards and things of that nature, those every day.
Yeah, actually on the city school board, I believe we're going to have to be on that district that's open. I think it's 2nd District. We'll have to look at that, too, because nobody was on that ticket. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so we will do that process. And again, Jimmy, downtown, I know you've been a part of downtown, and Steve has too. And I'm so excited about what the summit's coming along. Johnson Park is coming along. With Inman Street, how it's going to look when it gets finished up here in a few more months, and it's going to be a gem downtown. So I look forward to downtown just blowing up to with everything that's going on down there.
Well, take care, and thank you for your service to our community, Tom, and give our regards to your family, okay?
I will. You
take
too.
Care.
I appreciate
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, Tom. All right. Good evening, everyone, as we are about 9 minutes from the 10 o'clock hour, and the race is pretty much settled. And really one precinct still out being the senior center. But what we're going to do here in just a moment, we're going to end our broadcast with the results in that were contested, of course, as we've been reporting to you throughout the night. We'll have a full recap tomorrow morning of tonight's election at, of course, Mix Mornings on Mix 104.1 and on MixTV.tv. Jimmy Logan, anything you want to add here before we go?
Well, I just got some of the results texted to me here from Hamilton County in the circuit judges race. 53% of the vote, Alex McVeigh, and understand this is about a third of the precincts down there, is leading Kisha Cheeks with 46% of the vote, or 10,282. So we're looking at a 1,500 vote margin at this point in time with about a third of the vote in.
Okay. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much. Big thank you to you. Also to Stephen Shelton, who this is going to November. How about it?
I'm for it, and I think November is going to be an interesting time, not just for the presidency, but I think that it's going to be a fascinating time to see that Senate race. Certainly Marsha Blackburn will be the odds-on favorite. But it's going to be interesting to watch Gloria Johnson. She's something else.
All right, for Jimmy Logan and our entire crew tonight, Stephen Shelton, of course, with us earlier, and then on our crew tonight, Gideon Ratcliffe, and along with Ryan Felton, Austin Chadwick directing us back in the back. We've had an army of people here tonight. Really appreciate it. Sheridan Mosley getting all the calls on, our social media director. And hello, David Carroll of Local 3 is looking in tonight. Now, David, I like your new studio much better than ours, so we'll trade sometime. How about it? Although we have Channel 3 over here watching the Olympics just behind that screen there. Hello, David Carroll. Thank you for all you do. All right, that's it for us tonight right here. Again, full recap tomorrow morning. Thanks so much to our sponsors as you've been watching or listening tonight. It's those sponsors that make all of this happen. So thank them, patronize them, and thank them for what they do. And for the Logan Thompson Law Firm, I'm Steve Hartline. Good night, everybody.
Good night.